Okay, come into a fold, back of the mat, bend your knees a lot. Cool, so just get familiar with the loading of your body weight down through the soles of your feet, all four corners of them. Mentioned it already, but I'll mention it again because a lot of us kind of struggle with this. Bend the knees a lot, ribs, thighs, and start to go with the feeling of your body, not where you think you want to be in terms of stretching your hamstrings, but go with the feeling of the body. Let that muscular line tell you the story as to where you need to go. So a little bit of movement side to side. And good volumes of breath. Start to draw it in through the nose with a purpose. Sweet. And then you're just going to settle into the center and come up into a halfway lift and an inhale. Cool. And just going with the feeling of your hamstrings, right? You're starting to put them onto a different terrain and see how they respond. And then you can fold forwards. Cool, now go there again, revisit that same spot. Notice the differences that you start to feel as you revisit spots time and time again, and then fold and exhale. Cool, all right, then come up into a halfway lift and pause. Take your arms nice and wide. You know, reach around behind the back, interlock the fingers, come back into a fold. Maybe you just bend your knees a little bit more for this final fold. Cool, and then release and go half lift, people. Good one. Walk out to a downward facing dog. While I just tuck my shirt in. Cool. Okay, so we're going to come into three-legged dog on the right-hand side. Go there nice and slow. And I want you to release your left heel down towards the mat. That doesn't mean it's going to touch the mat, but I want you to press down through the left heel. So you're lengthening your left hamstring while you're activating your right glute and hamstring, and then tiger curl the knee into the ribs. Cool, really push the ground away. I'm going to need you to have strong shoulders for today, which means we need to warm them up, right? Come back into three-legged dog and inhale. And then tiger curl, again, go with the knee into the ribs. Now, get further away from the ground. I'm going to need your core on today as well. The more you hug your thigh bone to your belly button, the more things start to activate there. Come into now scorpion tail. So you get the big opening on the right-hand side. Sweet, and we'll go dragon's lunge. Cool, let's just start with the back knee on the ground for now. Pretty standard, probably most of you went there anyway. Hop on into the inside of the right thigh, give yourself a little bit more room. Cool, now come back to two hands on the ground, float the left knee off. See how long you can start to press out through your left heel. Cool, now at the same time, press your right foot into the ground, try and hug it back. And then we'll see, some of you might get here, some of you might not. It's all cool, remember, little steps. You've got to be aware of what is the appropriate step for you to go to by listening to the body. Awareness. Maybe you can pop the elbows onto the ground. Cool, and then we'll come back up onto the hands. Right, here's our first little bit of fun. You're going to take your left foot and you're going to poke that through to come into seated forward fold. With the right knee hugging in, wrap onto the inside of the right shin bone. See how you go. Maybe it's there, maybe it's not. Left hand to left foot. If it's not there, your step is here, and you stay onto that step until the message of the body tells you that it's cool, it's time we can go. You know, if I look back to where I started my yoga journey, there's no way I was touching my toes ever at all. Forget it. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with being there, as long as we start to take away the messages from where we are. Sweet. Next one here, little addition for you. See if you get it, see if you don't. We'll go with the right hand around and then the left hand around for a bind. Cool. And then you can come out from there and just hop yourself back into a downward facing dog. Great. Take your left heel to three-legged and inhale. Cool, just pause on the first one. Okay, so the focus is pressing your right heel down, okay? So you lengthen the right hamstrings. Breathe in again. Tiger curl. Good, and three-legged dog inhale. Press the right heel down. You'll notice it goes a little bit further second time around. And then tiger curl. Cool. All right, scorpion tail to inhale. So wrap the hip up and open to the sky. Dragon's lunge. Start with the back knee on the ground. All right, and then just hop inside your left thigh. Give yourself a bit of room. Check out what the situation is in there. Start to understand the landscape of where you are. Great, now two hands to the ground, float the right knee off the ground. Sweet, so it's super long through the right heel. You'll need to turn your right bum cheek on to get that leg really, really long. If you've got room there, come down onto the elbows. If you don't, that's okay. Maybe you go one elbow, or maybe you've got blocks at home and you can support yourself on some blocks, or a pillow, or a cushion, or... You know, I tend to see a lot of dogs in the home yoga sessions. Maybe you just call your dog over. You can lean on your dog. Rightio. Back up onto your hands, people. Hop the right foot through. Yeah. Cool. And hug the left knee in. Now, scooch around to the inside of the right shin. See how you go with your right toes. And if you're not there, it's cool. Okay, full breath in and a full breath out. Sweet. And if if things are really good while you're there, stay there. If you want to check out that last little bind, go for it. One of the things that we need to be cautious of when we're looking at the journey and the process is that we're not jumping to the next step before the step that we're on is actually done. That's where damage comes in. Okay. So, breathe in and breathe out. Good one. Oh, all right, and then come back up and just roll onto your back. So a little cuddle of the knees. A little bit of side-to-sidey stuff. A little bit of round in circles maybe with your knees. Lots of breath. Right, so the key thing about the breath to remember is it's the part that gives us the space so that we can observe. Sometimes we've got to get away from that racing mind so that we can hear the message from the step that we're on. We can hear the conversation from the body to the mind. Sweet. Roll on up and you're going to grab a seat. Sweet. 2 feet forwards and 2 hands to the sky. Lengthen nice and tall and then fold. Cool. Okay, just take a bit of a halfway lift. So come out of the bendy spine, puff your sternum forwards, and then fold. Sweet, let's do it again. Halfway lift and breathe in. and then fold. And again, you might notice that each time you visit that spot, you just get maybe 1 millimeter further. Cool, come up to a seat. You got 2 hands beside you, press your palms into the ground. So this is staff pose or Dandasana. Gonna take a right foot, lift it. 3, 2, 1, and then down. Hug into your belly when you do this, okay? Take a left foot and lift it. 3, so spine's tall. 2, 1, and back to the ground. Come back onto the right foot. 3, 2, try lean into it. 1, and then to the ground and to the left foot. 3, lean in, tall spine. 2, 1, and to the ground. Sweet. See how you go with both feet. Just, I like a fingertip situation here. And then you're gonna go and float both feet, lean in. 3, 2, 1. Cool, and release. Now you're gonna go 2 flat hands beside your bum. You're really gonna lean in and float the bum off the ground. 3, 2, 1. Sweet, come back down and go into wide-legged. In fact, you might even want to turn side on so that your mat supports your heels. Just hop into your fingertips and get the spine nice and tall. And for the start, we're going to pull the toes back towards the knees. Really proud through your chest. Squeeze shoulder blades in. Now start to walk the hands forwards. Okay, so no need to round the spine, yeah? Don't worry about how close your face gets to the ground, right? Go with the feeling. The feeling is the message of the step that you're on. The trying to get your face close to the ground and rounding your back, that's us projecting the future version, what the pose is supposed to look like, and trying to jump steps. Keep that in mind. Come back up from your fold. Now, point your toes. Oh, and then, I'm going to cramp there. Now fold again. Tall spine, tall spine. Great, okay, come up and out. Just lean back onto the hands for a moment. A little bit of round and round through your ankles. Cool. All right, now toes are peeling back again, and you're going to come over and come in. Tall spine, proud through the sternum. Don't worry about what it looks like on the outside. Worry about the feeling of the inner seam of the thigh and the hamstrings. They're going to tell you how close your sternum gets to the ground. Okay, come back up. Keep the toes peeling back. We're going to go no hands. Reach forwards and go. Look up, shoulder blades in. Okay, now come out of there. Point the toes. Bang. So your heels are going to press. Think about your heels like little hooks, little fish hooks in the ground, and they're pulling you forward. So you've got to push the feet in, crunch in through the core. Now fold with no hands. 3, 2, 1. Okay, come back up and out from there. And you can roll around back onto the mat. Cool. Okay, 2 hands into the ground. Lift the right foot. And release, and lift the left foot. And release. Now lift both feet. And release. Now lift the right foot. And release. Left foot. Cool. Both feet. 3, 2, 1. Good one. Lift your bum. Press. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Grab a seat. Cross the legs. Roll up forwards. Just go back with the right foot, people. Okay, and a right knee into the ground for now. Half crescent lunge. Inhale. Good one. Go ahead and find a half split. Don't snap the knee straight. Let it have a little bend. Now come back into the half crescent. Cool, and then go back into a half split. Good one. This time crawl forwards into a fingertip lunge. Now you guys are going to end up facing away from the screen, so you're going to have to listen to my words and trust the process, yeah? Swivel around so that you're in a lunge facing away from me, and do the half crescent lunge so the hands go to the sky. Good, and then it's the half split. So the fingertips touch the ground, straighten your leg, the front one. Cool, and then half crescent lunge, inhale. Sweet, and half split, exhale. Real good, fingertip lunge. So, your left knee's floating off the ground. Crawl back to the top of the mat, so your fingertip lunge to me. Cool. Okay, we're going into Skandasana. But before that, let's just go wide-legged fold. Epic. Okay, you're going to turn your left toes out and then drop into the inside of your left ankle. Yeah, so you come back to the top of the mat towards the screen. Cool, now go through that wide-legged fold and Skandasana to the back of the mat. Now you're dropping inside your right thigh. Sweet, use your fingertips, come over to the left leg. And then come over to the right leg. Sweet, see if you can do the transition without any hands. Just make sure your toes point straight to the sky. Come over to the left leg. And then come over to the right leg. Cool, now you're gonna go fingertip lunge to the top of the mat. Real good. Step up and fold, top of the mat. Wonderful, now make this a halfway lift, inhale. Think back to what your first halfway lift felt like 15 minutes ago. Then you know you're on the pathway of progression, right? Fold and exhale. And let's go there again. It's a halfway lift on the inhale. Cool, now go wide through your feet, come down into Malasana. Cool. We're going into plank pose from here, people. Press your hands into the ground. You want a little hop, back to the plank pose. Good one, and then it's a wide knee child's pose. So just untuck the toes, tops of the feet. You can keep looking forwards for this just here. We're gonna keep this quite active today, okay? Now, come back up into the plank pose. Cool, then go back to wide knee child's pose, but keep your toes tucked. Keep your toes tucked. Cool, okay, plank pose. And to the wide knee child's pose, toes tucked so you can press forwards. Cool, plank pose. Wide knee child's pose, toes tucked. Check this one out, go to Malasana, little hop. Cool, so don't worry about trying to get too high, okay? Scooch it really low and you can move pretty quick, yeah? And that stops that fear of toppling over and smacking your face into the ground, right? You ready? Hands into the ground and go high plank. Wide knee, toes tucked. Cool, Malasana. High plank. Wide knee toes tucked. Cool, Malasana. Epic. All right, come back into high plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Let's just use the knees, so we'll stage it up, yeah? The hips and the ribs touch at the same time. Take a little cobra pose, friends. Activate the muscles in your lower spine. Cool, and release your chin. Great, okay, go again. Cobra pose, inhale. And then release. Awesome. Cobra pose. Great. Bound locust pose. Just interlace the fingers over your sacrum, over your tailbone. And we're going to hang out here for a moment. 3 breaths. In through the nose and out through the nose. Good. And in and out. Great, big breath. Now, release your hands back to the rib cage. Downward facing dog. So you come through a high plank first and land in the down dog. Good stuff. Now come right up onto your tippy toes. Bend into your knees a lot, look to your hands. Go Malasana, top of the mat. Epic. Stand. Inhale. So we're going to keep the wide feet today, yeah? What we're doing here is adding Malasana into Sun Salutation A. Fold and exhale. Good. Come into halfway lift. Whoa. Come into Malasana. Inhale. Yeah, we're replacing halfway lift with Malasana. Good one. Chaturanga Dandasana. That's the high to low plank. So you hop, knees if you need to, lower. And then it's cobra pose. Inhale. Good one. Come on back into downward facing dog. And then go tippy toes. Keep the down dog shape. Bend into your knees a lot, look to your hands. That's the pathway. Malasana. Good. Tadasana. Inhale. Great. Fold. Bend the knees before you hinge your hips. Squat. Malasana. Good. Chaturanga Dandasana. Okay, and then it's cobra, or you might like to add upward facing dog with your kneecaps off the ground. And downward facing dog to exhale. Cool, tippy toes. Bend to the knees, look to your hands. That's where you're going. Hop. You can stay super low. Cool, reach all the way to the sky. Tadasana, inhale. Fold, Uttanasana, exhale. Malasana. Chaturanga Dandasana. Great. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And Adho Mukha Svanasana. Cool, pause there. Bring a right heel to 3-legged dog. And tiger curl. Practice how far you can get your shin bone off the ground. Okay, 3-legged dog. Inhale. Tiger curl. Epic, you got this. 3-legged dog, inhale. Things are getting pretty warm, I know. You're cool, you're cool, you're cool. Tiger curl, exhale, land your foot, bang, warrior 1. Short step, so you can get your heel on the ground before your hands come off the ground, yeah? That's a good way to gauge how short the warrior one should be. It's not a very long stance at all. Cool, now breathe in. And let's come into half pyramid. So traditional pyramid, back heel staying on the ground. Just go halfway. Good. Warrior one, rebend the front knee. Pyramid pose, a little bit further. Good, warrior one, inhale. Sweet, we'll see how we go. Pyramid pose, maybe you walk your hands down your shin, you might hold the shin, little bend, keep it here, yeah? Keep it there. Now that little bend, that's not part of the steps in the progress to straightening your leg. You should never fully let your knee go into like a full extension here, okay? Because you start to compress cartilage. Make sure your left hip is turning down towards the ground. If you can't reach the ground, get yourself some blocks, get yourself a pillow, or just hold on to the ankle. Okay, have a full breath. Step your left foot back so you're in fingertip lunge now. And twist your right hand to the sky, full breath. Good one. Warrior two. Slow it down, try and lift the left hand first, and then unroll yourself to warrior two. Cool. All right, reverse or warrior. Head on over to fingertip lunge. Back heel, turn it up to the sky. Good one. Flat left hand, side plank. Let's just go halfway first. So drop the left knee, step the right foot back. You notice I've walked my left knee forwards, so my knee's directly under the hip. We've got right hand to the sky. Cool. Breathe in. Chaturanga Dandasana. You could do it with two knees on the ground. It's forwards and then cobra pose. Sweet. See you in downward facing dog, people. And a left heel to three-legged dog. Tiger curl. So when I say knee to ribs, I literally mean it. Get your knee to pin to your rib cage. Come back into three-legged dog. And tiger curl. Think about taking the inner seam of your thigh right onto the edge of your belly button. Three-legged dog. Cool. Warrior one. Okay, so back foot comes short so that you can get your heel to the ground before your fingertips even come off. Okay, pause. Hang out here a couple of breaths. Right hips forwards, belly is in. Good one. Now breathe. Pyramid pose, just go a little bit. Just sussing out the terrain, right? Listen to the message from the body. Come back into warrior one. And then pyramid pose. Maybe you go a little bit further. Maybe your body already told you, nah, that last one is enough. That's our spot for today. Right hips closing down. Cool. Warrior one. Okay, and then pyramid pose with some support. Start on the thigh, walk your hands down, see how you go, grab your blocks and stuff if you need it. Cool, now that you're here, take a full breath and an empty breath. Great, now slide your right foot back, fingertip lunge. Good, and twist your left hand to the sky. Inhale. Warrior two. Take your right fingertips off the ground before you think about going anywhere. Good one. Reverse warrior inhale. Cool, and then it's fingertip lunge. Okay, side plank. If you think you're ready for a fuller side plank, you step the left foot back straight on top of the right one. And if you wanted even more than that, you can float the left foot to the sky so you're in star. Now breathe in. Chaturanga Dandasana. Good. Okay, upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Sweet. Now come up onto the tippy toes. Inhale. Look to your hands. Malasana. Stay really low. Cool. All right. Just settle here for a moment. Elbows into the knees. Please press into the ground so that you're just lengthening up a little bit, right? Cool. Now breathe, 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 breathe. Great. Big one in. Big one out. Cool. You're going to lean to the left. Yeah, and then come up to stork pose. The right leg is coming with us. So take it off the ground as early as you can. That's why you got to lean to the left. Grab a hold of your right wrist and then go flare your right foot out off the left side of the mat. Cool, come back into stork pose. Now, same deal on the way down. Right foot as long as you can keep it off the ground. 5, 4, 3, lean out left, lean out left, lean out left. Yeah. Cool, keep going. Stork pose, opposite side. Grab your left wrist up the top. And then flare. Left foot goes off the right side of the mat. Boom, you got a big lean out to the right hand side. Okay. Come out from there. Sweet. Coming down to Malasana. Play with it. As long, as slow as you can go. You get gold stars in yoga for whoever turns up last, right? That's always been the golden rule of yoga. Come into Tadasana, people. Cool, and then we're going to step 2 feet together. Right, I'm just going to give myself a little bit of space away from the rainforest there at the end. You might want to give yourself a bit of space away from your computer. All right. Pick up your right foot just off the ground, just about an inch off the ground. Okay, now it's been a long time since I've done any of these, so we'll see how we go. Pistol squat. Send your right foot out forwards. Start to come down into a squat on one leg. One leg, one leg. Just go halfway and then come back up. All right, switch sides. Lean right. Pick the left foot up and come down halfway. So you notice my knees stay together there, yeah? Cool, come back up. Okay, check it out again on the right. Pick up the right foot. Down, 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 and come back up. So we're just testing the waters, okay? Come over to the right-hand side. Pick up the left foot. 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. Come back up, and each time you might find you go a bit further, or maybe you've found your limit already. It's just about getting the feedback from where you are. So we're staying aware, we're staying present, and all of that information that comes through the body leads to this collection of knowledge about where we are on the journey and whether the next step's right for us. Pick up the left foot. Cool. See if you can go all the way. So you're bending, 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 bending. Now, depending on your ankle flexion, you might need your heel to come off the ground. That's the right heel. Then see if you can go stand back up. Okay, lean left, pick up the right foot, See how you go. Now, remember that if you fall from here, it's absolutely a-okay, no problem. It's just alerting you, well, I'm going, no, I've got it. It's just alerting you to where you are on your journey, right? Come to stand. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay. Whoo, reach 2 hands to the sky, people. And you're going to keep them there. Take a right knee to the rib cage. Epic. Now kick your right foot straight and turn this into warrior 3. So you're going to look directly down for warrior 3. Reach your fingers further away from your back heel. Lots of breath required, okay? Full one. And an empty one to come out. Great, okay, go stork pose, left side. Pause. Left foot forwards. Okay, and warrior 3. 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Cool, so the longer you can stay here, the more the nervous system is building that bank of knowledge for next time you come here. Cool, come out. Great, okay, come back down into Malasana. Whoa, okay. Couple of breaths. You got this, you're cool. Full one in and a full one out. Real good. Full one in and a full one out. Okay, so good news, that's the warm-up done. Now the real work starts, okay? The moment you've all been waiting for. Firefly, the pose is called, or Titibhasana. So you got your Malasana, you got the wide feet. Cool, now fold. Hands on the ground, notice the big bend stays in my knees. Yeah? Bit awkward, I get it. Don't worry, you're in your house, not out on the street, so that's okay. Now, hands, you're gonna walk them back here behind your heels. Yeah? See if you can just hold on to the back of the heel there. And see if you can hold on to the back of the ankle there. Great, so knees aren't too wide. I'm actually holding my shoulders with my knees. And I can actually already kind of sit onto my elbows. Great, now the place we're gonna go is then to flatten your hands on the ground behind your feet. Don't have them too wide. Yeah? Now I'm properly sitting on my elbows here, okay? Now you got a bit of trust here, and also remember, it's not too far to go if you fall, right? You're not gonna break your tailbone from here or anything. So you're gonna walk your feet into the middle of the mat. See if you can get your heels to touch. Bit of a heel click, yeah? Then you're gonna take your right foot or your left foot, just go with what works for you, and hook it over the other foot. Now, maybe you can take, whoa, no, I'm going. See how you go taking your feet off the ground, okay? You really got to push into the ground and dome your back. A lot. Okay, let me go back there again for you. So, flat hands, sit onto your elbows, walk your feet in, pick up one, hook it over the other one, and then you're on your hands. Cool. Now, the trick here is to then unhook your toes and poke your legs forwards. 4, 3, 2, oh, and I'm out. Okay, okay, okay. Now, one of the things me and the boys used to say to each other at the wake park when people were complaining about missing their jumps, yeah, okay, that's cool, but did you die? And if the answer is no, then you can keep going, right? As long as you bring all the little bits of information so that you can formulate the process, yeah? And then you can get to feel when the time is right where you go and jump from one step to the next step, and then we're just one foot after the other, getting closer to the goals. Okay, one more go at it. Now you've caught your breath a little bit while I just have my little speech. Sweet, come back. Malasana. Cool. Grab the ankles. Okay, fingertips behind your feet. Flat fingers, flat palm. You're sitting onto your, what are those things? The pointy things? Elbows. Cool. 2 feet off the ground. Hook the toes. Great. Poke your feet forwards. Oh, wow. I would love to have a camera in my face when I try that one just to see what the facial expressions are really like. Oh, okay, cool. Come over onto your belly, peeps. Let's smooth all of that shit out, shall we? Okay, onto your belly. We're going to go into straight jacket. Lovely name for a pose, that one, straight jacket. You get your left arm threaded under, and then your right arm threads across, like you're giving yourself a big cuddle, but I want you to keep your hands wide and your palms turn up, and you're just going to let your forehead sort of drop. Cool, now lots of breath here, people. It's time that you start to regulate your nervous system, your heart rate, your temperature, all that stuff, and it happens with your breath. So it's in, and it's out. Good, and in and out. Sweet, let's just swap the arms over. Come back up and wrap the other arm across the front. Cool, and then let yourself start to melt over. Great, so we're just peeling open there between the shoulder blades. Couple of very specific muscles in there. Get a really good workout, really good stretch on sometimes. Mainly the subscapularis. That's the muscle that keeps your shoulder blade attached to the back of the rib cage. So it sits in between the shoulder blade and the rib cage. Lots of breath. So you're going to fill that whole back cavity of the lungs up. Good. In. And out. Great. Okay, come out from there. And then let's get the front side of the shoulders. Chest opener. Take your right arm out to the side and bend at the elbow. Just keep your elbow up nice and high. And then the left foot goes to the right side of the room. Wonderful. Okay, and switch sides. Real good. Okay, full breath. And an empty breath. Awesome. Close over to your belly. Great. Come up onto the shins. You're going to drag your right knee forwards and go pigeon pose. Cool. So up on the hands to start with. Totes cool. Whew. Sometimes that's just a really nice place to hang out. You know, you don't always have to go to your limits. Just see how you are. Sweet. If you're all the way down, come back out. Now you're going to sweep your left foot forwards. You're going to pick your right foot up and just fold it outside you for saddle pose. The black pants work well to demonstrate. Foot is outside your hips. Don't sit on your heel, right? It's outside. Lean back. Sweet. Keep lots of breath, yeah? Keep lots of breath. So you're taking your nervous system back to regulation. And maybe you get an elbow to the ground. Maybe you get 2 elbows to the ground. Maybe you lay all the way to the ground. Okay, but if you can't lay all the way to the ground, don't keep your focus on, I want to get all the way to the ground. Too far out in the future, okay? Just keep your focus on where you are. The next step will present itself when it's ready. Come out from there. Okay, pigeon pose, second side. Bend the left leg up and shoot your right leg back. So often what's happening for us people, when we set a goal and then our focus stays out there on that goal, we're very regularly reminding ourselves of how far we are away from actually attaining that goal. And so when our focus has to drift that far, and it's drifting that far for such a long time, at some point in time, that the idea of that gap of how far we still have to go will swallow up all of the awakenings that your journey's taken you already, and we chuck it in the too hard basket. Okay, down to the elbows if that's cool for you. Sweet, and then it's going to be your right foot forwards, fold the left foot up beside you for half saddle pose. Woo-wee. Wow, this side for me tonight is super, super sticky. You will not see me go to my back on this side tonight. So you're either just walking your hands back or you come down to one elbow. The elbow that you take to the ground, generally you want it to be the one that's opposite whatever knee is forwards, okay? That's sort of your next step when the time's right, which you know from your awareness because you're sitting in that space of listening regularly. Okay, big breath. And an empty breath. Shoot the left foot forwards. You can lay all the way to your back there, friends. And just cuddle your knees into your rib cage, little rock side to side. Great. Twist right. Just make that whatever twist you want. Just make that whatever twist you want. Easiest twist is where the knees stay bent and the thighs are together. Great, and then you can unravel from there and you can twist left, or the opposite side, sorry. I don't know if I told you what side to go on, did I? Who knows? Doesn't really matter. Okay, full breath. And an empty breath. Cool. And then unravel yourself, people. And stretch yourself out into Shavasana. Your work here is done. Lots of space. Feel all of the weight of your body down on the ground. Close down your eyes. Okay. And so, Shavasana, it's about bringing yourself into the present moment here, focusing on what is here. So the feeling of the body is the reward for all of those little steps of that journey that you just took. Okay? Forget about whether you got here or there along the way. Not important. You got to where you got and you worked for it. And the reward for that is now the feeling of the body. Soak it up like a sponge. Sweet. And then start to bring yourself back into the conscious mind with a full breath in through your nose. And a big open mouth sigh. Now just gather yourself together, roll over onto one side. Epic. Okay, bravely, courageously, proudly press yourself up into a tall seat. You're going to bring two hands together in front of the heart. And with an inhale, lengthen your spine taller. And with an exhale, keep that new length in the spine. And we'll close from here with one Om, people. Inhale. So just bring the thumb tips to lightly rest onto your third eye center. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Namaste.